Hey guys, Thomas the Solar Genie here, aka Mustached Tom, and here for something a little bit different from anything I'm used to doing on my channel. So, after catching up with Hellavu Boss, and being a fan of that show to the degree that I still am, I figured I'd have a little bit of fun at my own expense, I suppose, putting together a little ditty, not an official song by any capacity. I don't even have any, musical arrangement to accompany this. This isn't written in the style of any particular song, like a slow song or a medium paced song or anything like that. Um, so far, all I have are lyrics, and I don't even know if they, how much they should be improved upon. There's so many issues, I'm sure, that this has, but, I decided, why not just post it and see what happens? Uh, so, being a fan of the show Hellavu Boss so far, uh, and seeing the deadly sins that we've seen so far, one that has always gauged my interest to personally see is envy, and that is because that is a sin that is, I feel, so easy for myself and maybe even others to fall into. Uh, so I decided to take a crack at what I would imagine, my personal imagination of what I believe envy would be like through quote unquote a song. So again, I put this together to essentially give it a crack, see how it turns out. And again, this doesn't have any, you know, any well placed music again in accordance to that, but which is probably why some of these quote unquote lyrics, which I guess you could even call this a poem, maybe even more so than a song. I don't know. Doesn't have any sort of, again, tempo or rhythm or any of that stuff. So yeah, that is what this little video is going to be. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So I simply titled this quote-unquote song Envy. Just name it after the character, or what I assume is the character's name. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about what this particular sin is in accordance to the show and what animal grouping it would be a part of either. But again, I just decided to go with it's named after the sin. That's cool enough, I think. And so the first quote unquote lyric or thing is this. So we're gonna move down. So I'm just gonna speak these words. I'm not gonna attempt to sing anything here, just because I don't know. I don't feel confident enough in my singing ability quite yet, due to my size primarily. So the first phrase goes, I've seen so many wish upon a star, yet my dreams have yet to be granted. For disdain runs in my veins, for I am envy. And as you see as I go through this, that I guess I'll call them verses, even though I don't think they are proper verses in that regard, will all end with that gimmick. So I thought, this would be a character that is very much wanting the spotlight and all of that good stuff too, so I went on to frame that too. I want the fame and glory, but no matter how hard I try, I only seem to cast an invisible shadow, and yet I still yearn for their spotlight, for I am envy. And this one I thought was really interesting. I'll just move down. Day by day, this itch of what needs never fades from full sight. Month by month, the pacing of anger fills my lungs, but year by year, the insanity for desire is just me, for I Am Envy. So I don't know, I'm trying to rhyme in the song a little bit here, as you can tell. Not going any, I'm not doing anything too crazy there, and keeping in the gimmick. This one deals with jobs. I want so many other jobs, so many other chances, yet I remain in the said shadows, lingering and wishing still because I am envy. And I thought it'd be really funky if the song itself, for Envy, made fun of the fact that it's not like written like any other song typically. So I know that this song does technically count as having quote unquote verses. So I don't know any other musical lingo as much as others do. So feel free to correct this one. Even this song isn't as grand as other, not carrying bridges or other verses. Again, I know that verses are just lines in the song, so I can change that word, but I want these things too for I Am Envy. It's essentially the gimmick of like, I was supposed to, I want to make a better song than the song I am singing right now, essentially, because all of these other songs are so grand, so epic, so much more than I could ever achieve. And then again, I feel like that's so indicative of what Envy would actually, his or her, I don't know which, or they, I don't know, would Envy would be in this case again. So I'm just gonna throw all of them out there so far. And I think that would be a part of the gimmick, And speaking of being a part of the gimmick, I thought like this would make the character, what would make the character the most compelling is the last line. If only I could spend even a day, even a few moments not living in this way forever, because I don't want to be envy anymore. Now that I think that I wrote that specific line to give this character a way more dimension than just being pure envy. This is a character that I feel like the sin itself is like a sin that, when you think about it, it's something that you always kind of want to actively avoid, in the sense of like, it's always about like I wants and I desires to the extreme degree, or I'm jealous that these other people have these things. So I don't want to be in the position I am in right now. Is essentially envy to its core. And so that would be personified in the sin itself. The sin itself doesn't actually want to be the sin itself. It wants to be something in it. The character in themselves, or himself or herself or whatever, they want to be something more too. I feel like that would be very in line with, again, an envy-based character. So that is what I have typed out. Again, I did this completely out of just being a fan of the show. I'm gonna post this on, up whenever. I'm gonna tweet it out. I'm gonna tweet the creator, maybe in hopes that she'll see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a dreamer. I don't know. But yeah, I think I could have wrote something better myself, but that's what I have so far. And you know what? If you did enjoy this somehow, some way, then please do all the stuff like liking, commenting, and subscribing, and all that cool stuff, and all that other stuff. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye.